On the left, we have the original sled SkiDoo Expedition. On the right, its exact copy, the Sharmax Ace 1000, for almost half the price. Today they are facing against each other in a deep powder snow battle. Let's go! Hi there, as usual it's me, just a voiceover. You are watching Review Machines, and today we are going to make a tough battle between these two snowmobiles, the SkiDoo and Sharmax. In previous video on the channel, we compared the original BRP SkiDoo and its precise Chinese copy, the Sharmax Ace 1000. We examined both machines in detail and found that this new model from the Chinese manufacturer replicates the popular Canadian snowmobile down to the smallest details. However, when we filmed that review, there was hardly any snow, so we couldn't test them in action. With your high interest and numerous comments asking for a rematch, today is the day, especially now when we have loads of fresh powder. So let's get started! Friends, for a detailed technical comparison of the two snowmobiles, I recommend checking out our previous video. We went over every component. It's surprising, but the construction is almost identical. The level of Chinese reverse engineering is impressive. So today we won't focus on the tech specs and we'll focus more on the practical comparison. But before we dive into the tests, let's quickly recap the main specs. As for the manufacturers, the Canadians I think need no introduction. Regarding the SkiDoo copy, it's made for Sharmax by one of the Chinese manufacturers. Visually, the machines are nearly identical, except for the graphics. Last time we even confirmed that parts are interchangeable. For example, the passenger seats can be swapped. The fairings, accessories, windshield and vents all match. However, there are some differences. For instance, our SkiDoo has older halogen headlights, while the Sharmax comes with LED lighting. Let's put them nose to nose and check the equipment. Dimensions are almost identical, both are 3260mm long, 1200mm wide. The SkiDoo is powered by Rotax 900cc 95 HP 3-cylinder engine. The Sharmax has a copy of this engine, also 900cc 3-cylinder, but with 96 HP. In our last video, we removed the fairings and confirmed layout and components match. Let's start them up. You can probably hear the engine sound a bit different. The BRP is quieter and smoother, while the Sharmax has a sharper, louder tone, like a sport bike. The transmission works identically, both with a low gear. To engage reverse, you press the engine start button again. There is plenty of snow, and the suspension is buried, making it hard to see, but the situation is the same with the suspension. Both feature a standard front suspension with adjustable shocks, identical in design. The only difference is the SkiDoo has branded KYB shocks. Unsurprisingly, the rear suspension design is also the same. The handlebar shape, steering column, controls, heated grips, everything matches down to the smallest details, even the button shapes. But the displays differ. Our SkiDoo in this trim has a simple screen with orange backlighting. Sharmax didn't copy that and instead uses a bright colorful TFT screen with nice graphics. So my friends, as I said, we won't dive into the details. I recommend our previous review for that. Now it's time for the practical part, and we have two experienced riders to help us today. Huge thanks to them. Let's get started. First, let's talk a bit about today's weather. As you can see, there is a sea of snow, and it's fresh powder. It's very cold outside, with a strong icy wind. The snow is so light and fluffy. Snowmobiles are very good here, but filming in these conditions is, trust me, it's a hard thing. Still, we are doing our best for you, because of all the comments under the previous review asking for this battle. But let's get to the point. How do these snowmobiles perform in these conditions, and are there any practical differences between them? In this deep snow, the sleds don't really ride. They float like motorboats over waves. You have to steer here more with your body weight than the handlebars. Inexperience can easily tip a sled on its side, especially on slopes. But our riders are experienced, so both machines handle like wild beasts in their natural habitat. It's a joy to watch, and I bet even more fun to ride. At first glance, there is no noticeable difference in motion. Both are also about equally easy to ride after a tip over. Even with experience, both SkiDoo and Sharmax take a nap now and then, which isn't surprising given how deep and light the snow is. Now we will try to get some concrete results from our tests. We'll compare acceleration from a standstill. The first attempt. Green is Sharmax, gray is SkiDoo. SkiDoo jumps ahead initially, but the Sharmax closes the gap towards the finish. Let's try again. This start is even, but SkiDoo pulls away again. It's hard to be objective here. The right choice of track matters a lot. Another factor, the riders have a noticeable weight difference, about 20 kilos, so they will swap the sleds. Let's try. One more try. This time the SkiDoo goes ahead initially, but the Sharmax catches and passes it. Is it the weight or the track? Hard to say. Next we tried to measure the top speed in these conditions. For accuracy, we used a GPS speedometer instead of the stock gauges. Unfortunately, we couldn't record the results, because our GoPro refused to work in this cold. But as gentlemen, we take each other word, so our rider will tell us what the speed is. First up, the Sharmax. And according to our rider, the result is 74 km per hour. Now the BRP, let's see. And the result is 85 km per hour. So on this test, the Canadian was a bit faster than its copy. Time for the hard test. We have a deep ravine here, and even at its edge, the snow is impressively deep. Imagine what it's like at the bottom. We will try to cross this ravine. The SkiDoo goes first. almost makes it, but the climb fails. Meanwhile, off camera, the Sharmax gets stuck near the top. With a friend's help, they continue the climb. They decide to turn the SkiDoo around and try a clever traverse, which successfully overcomes the obstacle. Now let's try to climb on our bank. Nice run. The Sharmax slides back down onto its starting point. Then it descends to the bottom of the ravine, where it turns around off camera. And here is an interesting moment. From the bottom, it tries a steep climb from a standstill, without a running start. In this snow, that's truly impressive. Then it crosses the ravine to our side. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed our snowmobile battle. In my opinion, both machines performed decently. Canadian Skopje, the Sharmax, surprisingly kept pace with its much more expensive brother. How much is brand new SkiDoo Ace 900 right now? Probably about 25,000 at our pace. The Sharmax Ace 1000 costs about $15,000. Well, let's go today, my friends. Thanks for having a ride with us. Please post your comments what you think about these sleds. Consider watching another our video about similar vehicles. Stay with us, there will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.